Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and President Tinubu on the surface represent the best ideal of godfatherism and the relationship between godfather and the godson. But it appears lately that things have fallen apart and the center cannot hold to the level that the president has sent, allegedly, was behind the EFCC investigation of Governor Sanwo-Olu and the allegation that Sanwo-Olu funded or contributed campaign fund to opposition leaders, Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party during the 2023 presidential election. Of course, you and I know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has denied receiving any fund from Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And Peter Obi just a few days ago denied receiving any money from Babajide Sanwo-Olu in a statement that was issued by the spokesperson of Peter Obi, Dati Baba Ahmed Presidential Campaign Council, Kasaure, denied that Peter Obi had received any money at all whatsoever from Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Atiku Abubakar himself was the first to reveal that he's under investigation by the EFCC over allegation that he collected money or he received fund from Babajide Sanwo-Olu during the 2023 presidential election. Now, before we go into details of how this thing will unfold, let us first of all answer the question: is there a possibility that Babajide Sanwo-Olu funded or contributed money to Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar during the election, and that he did it allegedly through Aisha Achimugu, who the EFCC have now declared wanted over money laundering allegation? Is there a possibility that he did something like that? That is what we're going to unravel. But first of all, let us stand from the pure legal ground that Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar had denied receiving any money from Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Now, if Babajide Sanwo-Olu contributed money through them, through Aisha Achimugu, you can bet that they can't give that money. Aisha Achimugu will not donate that kind of money with the name of the governor of Babajide Sanwo-Olu, knowing that Babajide Sanwo-Olu is a governor who is very close to the presidential candidate of the APC at the time, Tinubu, who is his godfather. So if Achimugu is to donate money, she's not likely to donate that money in the name of Babajide Sanwo-Olu. That's my thinking. And she's not likely to donate it through somebody who's close to Babajide Sanwo-Olu. If that was what they did, I think that Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar would have been able to confirm receiving money coming from the Lagos state government or from Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Okay? So it is assumed that if it is true, let us agree without conceding that it is true that Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave money to Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi in the campaign. What does that tell us? What that tells us is this: that Babajide Sanwo-Olu secretly was praying that Peter Obi or Atiku Abubakar would defeat Tinubu. It also means that Babajide Sanwo-Olu could not stand Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It means that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was as overbearing as Yesomike is to Fubara. But in the case of Fubara Fubara was able to resist. And even though he resisted, look at where we are today in terms of River State. It can also explain the reason why the president is backing Wike, despite all the outrage most Nigerians have expressed over the fact that a sitting governor is being made to look subservient to a minister in Abuja. Okay, it means that Babajide Sanwo-Olu is Tinubu's overbearingness was on his neck, and he was wishing and praying and working that somebody else rather than Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be president, so that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be demystified. That is my understanding of the reason why he could have prayed and even released money, has been alleged, to Peter Obi campaign and Atiku Abubakar campaign. And if he's to funnel that kind of money, he can't funnel it in his name. Common sense dictates that. And he's not likely to funnel it to another. But according to People's Gazette said that the president has gotten confidential information that the money allegedly linked to Aisha Achimugu, the money laundering money, part of the money was used to fund, to contribute campaign fund to Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. As I told you earlier on, these two top opposition leaders have denied this allegation. And I can understand that even if the money came, it wouldn't have come through the names of the governor of Lagos State. Okay, if it is true. And that's why I'm trying to explain what could have led to Sanwo-Olu to contemplate working against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, in the last election, in the 2023 election. It means that Tinubu is as overbearing as he is so wicked in the issue of playing godfatherism in Lagos. So I think that settles those who are wondering what could be the reason, because it looks unfathomable that Sanwo-Olu will work against Tinubu. Even if you see the statement that was issued by Bayo Onanuga debunking the allegation by Atiku Abubakar that he was being investigated because they said that money from that Babajide Sanwo-Olu funded his campaign, and he raised the alarm. But when Bayo Onanuga dismissed that position and said that it was bad and rash, that it makes no sense. But why I'm bringing this up for you to understand what is going on. The presidency dismissed it. Now, let us go back further. In November last year, Babajide Sanwo-Olu went to court through a lawyer to stop the EFCC from investigating him. That was October last year. He went to court, filed a suit in Abuja to stop the EFCC from investigating him, from detaining him, from confiscating his international passport, his properties and all that when he leaves office on May 29, 2027. When one Kanu who filed that suit on his behalf, when that story trended, Babajide Sanwo-Olu then denied that they sent him to go and file that suit. Okay? And they said they will investigate it. Lagos State government said it will investigate who sent him to do that. At the end of the day, as I'm talking to you, Lagos State government have not rebooted, they have not sentenced or take that man to court. Why that woman to court? Say, why did you go and file a suit? We didn't send you. Indicating that woman was standing on solid ground in saying that she was directed to file a suit against EFCC. Of course, that suit was eventually dismissed by the court in Abuja. Okay? Indicating that Tinubu is interested in dealing with Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And People's Gazette is telling us that the reason why Tinubu is angry with Babajide Sanwo-Olu was that Babajide Sanwo-Olu funded Atiku and Obi's campaign. That was at the root of the whole thing. That Tinubu felt betrayed in what transpired. Okay, so we can now begin to see clarity. So, in other words, what I'm saying, you can see that there is no truth. I don't think there's any truth that Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar were aware. If any money came from from Lagos State government through Babajide Sanwo-Olu, I'm sure they were not aware that any money came with that name. If it came, it could have come from in a different name. But even this Aisha Achimugu that was declared wanted, who is said to be an ally or close associate of Babajide Sanwo-Olu, until she's brought back to the country and give her own side of the story, we may never know whether what they are alleging against her is true or not. But one thing is clear. One thing you can take away from this channel in this analysis is that if it is true, assuming without considering that it is true, it means that Babajide Sanwo-Olu has considered Tinubu's overbearingness intolerable, that he wished he would lose the 2023 presidential election so that he, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, will be free from his overbearing nature. Of course, you and I know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the determinant of who gets what in Lagos. He was the person that determined who becomes the governor of Lagos State. He was the one that would determine whether you get second term. Babajide Sanwo-Olu himself was a beneficiary of Bola Ahmed Tinubu stopping a former governor of Lagos State from getting second term, and therefore making opportunity for Babajide Sanwo-Olu to get a first term. And even when Babajide Sanwo-Olu was going for second term, there were issues here and there. But of course, the president was distracted by his own campaign that he allowed Babajide Sanwo-Olu to go for second term in a stretch like that without much issues. Also, if you notice lately, when there was dispute over the leadership of this Lagos Obasa being the speaker, when he was impeached, you know, when he was impeached, the impeachment was alleged to have been instigated by Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and you can see how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu threw from Abuja, they threw the governor under the boss, and they embarrassed him by returning the impeached speaker, showing that all is not well between the godfather and his godson. Where it will end, we may never know. But everything depends on what Achimugu will say when she returns back to Nigeria, or if they're able to make her to return, or she voluntarily returns to Nigeria. Remember, as I told you, she had been declared wanted by the EFCC. I don't know what to think about this. Does it make sense? Why my analysis on this? What could have made Babajide Sanwo-Olu to have supported or funded or released campaign fund? Because it's unfair to Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar to say that he funded them. These people have their own resources. They have people who contributed money, some big money, some small money. So it's unfair to them that Babajide Sanwo-Olu funded them as being alleged. But what is clear is that if he had sent money to these people through Achimugu, I'm sure that money will not go by the name of Lagos State government. But however, People's Gazette is telling us that confidential information that the president received over the money traced to Achimugu indicate that part of the money went to support the campaign of the two major opposition candidates at that time in 2023. I don't know what you think about this. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you. What do you think? What do you think? Do you believe that Babajide Sanwo-Olu funded or contributed money to Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar? And if he did, which obviously these people he contributed didn't know, If he did, what do you think would have been his motive? Do you agree with me that it could have been because he wanted Tinubu to be defeated? Because Tinubu was being overbearing as a godfather. He wanted him to be humbled. The same way people like Arebo Shola wanted him to be defeated so that he can eat the humble pie. But unfortunately for them, INEC did the magic and he was declared a winner. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.